Hello everybody, Lisa here and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a super fun unboxing of a Kickstarter that I have been eagerly anticipating. It is the Botanical Deck by Jessica Bott of the Amethyst Oracle. She's also well known for her deck, the Idiosyncra deck, which is out of print and has been out of print for some time. This is what her Amethyst Oracle looks like. It's a vector style graphic. It's very crisp, vivid colors, really simple and clean. Oops. But this is a really wonderful Oracle deck that I really enjoy working with. And so I was really excited that she was coming out with a new deck. The Botanical Deck has a plant theme and it just came in today. The creator is in Canada, as am I, so I think I got mine pretty quick. But it was boxed in an outer box. It's still in its wrapping. It came with this really nice art card of these really cool, they look to be almost like a phosphorescent mushroom. So that's really neat. Now I did back at the level that came with a cloth, so I'll show you what that looks like. So it's a nice size. And it's got this like reversible tree design. We've got some mushrooms, some pineapple it looks like, some flowers, and then some cacti. Oh, I think this is probably the suits, but we'll see that as we dig into the deck. I'll probably have Peggy sew this onto a backing for me because I really like my reading cloths to be reversible. But this is pretty. I like this. It's kind of a satiny feeling fabric. So I'm just going to set that to the side. I have a knife. I'm going to open up this plastic, but this is what the box looks like. Sorry for the reflection. It'll be better when I get the plastic off, so let's do that now. So this is just going to be a first impressions. I won't have obviously worked with this deck at all yet, so keep that in mind. I think it's really important to, you know, remember what is a first impressions and then what is like a review, right? So I try to be really clear what this is. So I probably will have one reaction when I first look at it, and then I'll feel differently, you know, I'll know more about it once I've started working with it. So let's put this right here. That looks good. All this clutter on the table, I'm okay with that. So how does the box open? Do I have to be smarter than the box? Oh, hi, this is the front of the box. That's hilarious, but that is stunning. Do you see the really pretty like foil accent there? Oh, it's so pretty, and it just looks like it's a lift off. There's no thumb holes, but this feels like it's really easy to open, so it's just sliding right off. Pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have our guidebook, and this looks like it's going to be pretty good. We will look at this after because I know we're all really eager to see the cards. And these are split into two piles here. Ooh, don't throw them. Don't throw them. Okay, so this side starts with the Fool, so I'm guessing this is going to be the Tarot. And oh, we might still be into Tarot on this side. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out together. So let me get into my knife again here. Get the plastic open. These are always so challenging. Oh, this one actually is opening really nicely. Okay, so it's a nice smooth matte. Let me open the other pile. Oh, and it's a nice thickness too. Not so thick that it's going to be crazy given how many cards there are in this deck. I should probably cover that, so we'll do that. This is just, we're just figuring this out as we go along, guys. So, okay. I got the plastic open on this one. I'm always a little like paranoid when I'm taking plastic off that I'm going to cut the sides of the cards or something. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Okay. We may end up doing this in two parts. We'll see how we get along here. So I want to check the guidebook real quick and just see. It should tell us how the deck is structured. So we have a major and a minor. So the minor goes through the suit of the cacti, and then the oracle is poisons, herbs, medicines, mushrooms, carnivorous, and tea. I feel like I didn't know about the tea. Is that like the surprise? I think there might have been a surprise suit. So for major arcana we have trees. For minor we have flowers, crops, spices, and cacti. Now if I remember, I believe flowers were cups, crops were pentacles, spices were wands, and cacti were swords. But don't quote me on that. I should probably... Ah, here we go. Trees are majors. Flowers are cups, crops are pentacles, spices are wands, and cacti are swords. Look at me go. And then when we get into the Oracle deck, it says it's laid out similar to the Minor Arcana suit minus the court cards, Ace to 10. And the symbology matches the symbology of a tarot deck. So aces all represent beginnings, potentials, etc. Oh, that's beautiful. So she really thought that through. And then we have poisons are toxicity and potential. Herbs are encouragement and support. Medicines are protection and power. Mushrooms are change and capability. And carnivorous are evolution and opportunity. So it says the cards will all work together as one deck and can be used together, or you can separate into two parts and use them separately, tarot and accompanying oracle, which may be how I use it. I don't know yet, so we will see. All right, so I've got my gigantic stack of cards, and I think what I'm going to do is zoom us. Look at that meaty stack. I'm probably not going to shuffle these together. I probably am going to separate them into two piles, but let's get into the tarot. So let me actually stop here at the cacti. So we have, oh, those are poisons, so that's the oracle. I may do the oracle as a part 2 just so the video is not crazy long. Okay, so that's the end of the cacti. So here you can kind of really get a feel for the thickness. So that's the thickness of the tarot. And that is the thickness of the oracle. These are a standard size tarot size. So they're the same size as the amethyst oracle cards. Okay, so I'll set the oracle aside. And I'm going to zoom us in a bit and we're going to get right into it. So let's bring it in. Joop. Bring it up. All right, there we go. So we have the Fool and we have the Cherry Tree. Baobab for the Magician. These trees are so cool. I believe they're only they only live in Tanzania, I feel like. I could be completely wrong about that. I'm going to be really excited to dig into this. Witch Hazel for the High Priestess. Birch for the Empress. Oak for the Emperor. I love that. Sacred Fig for the Hierophant. Oops. I love the colors of these and I like the layout. Hawthorn for the Lovers. Bamboo for the Chariot. Ginkgo for Strength. Sequoia the Hermit. Oh, I love how like solitary and like tall this one is. That's beautiful. Money Tree for the Wheel of Fortune. I killed one of these once. I was really concerned. Dancing Lime for Justice. I don't know a lot about this tree, and I'm hoping that the book delivers on some information for all these plants, although I'm a little nervous because it looks a little thin, so we'll see. Arbutus for the Hanged Man. This is, I believe, the official tree of BC, the Arbutus tree, and they're beautiful. Suicide Tree for Death. I didn't know there was a tree called a suicide tree. Eucalyptus for Temperance. It's a really interesting image of the eucalyptus. Strangler Fig for the Devil. Ooh. Manchineel for the Tower. Palo Santo for the Star. Oh, I love this. Sorry for the traffic noise. That's horrible. Somebody had like a really loud vehicle. So Willow for the Moon. Furzy, is that what that says? Furzy for the Sun. Huh, that's beautiful though. Let's make sure we're still focused here. Bristlecone Pine for Judgment. Oops. Palm for the World. Seed Pod for the Unknowns. This isn't a bonus major arcana. Then we're getting to the Cups suit. So for the Ace of Cups in the flower suit, we have the Lotus. Just having a sip of my iced tea. It is such a hot day here today. The 2 is the Twin Flower. Ooh, pretty. Chrysanthemum for the 3 of Cups, or 3 of Flowers. Poppy for the 4. Anemone for the 5. Lilac for the 6. Passion Flower for the 7. Skeleton Flower for the 8. Hibiscus for the 9. Peony for the 10 of Cups, or 10 of Flowers. For the page, we have Primrose. The Knight is the Rose. Oh, how perfect is that? The Queen, oh my God, the Calla Lily. And King Protea for the King. And now we're into crops. So this is the Pentacle Suit. And the ace with the lemon, this really looks like that bright yellow we expect to see, I think, for an ace of coins or an ace of pentacles. So that's cool. So lemon. What, soybean, okay. 2. The 3 of pentacles or the 3 of cups, we have the pea. This makes sense. We've got that flourishing and that growth, and we're getting some harvest, right? I love that. The artichoke for the 4. I love artichokes. Sorry, just random squirrel thoughts. Turnip for the 5. Breadfruit for the 6. Carrot for the 7. Olive for the 8. Pineapple for the 9 of pentacles or the 9 of crops. I like that. And pomegranate for the 10. For the page of pentacles or the page of crops, we have strawberry. The knight is corn. That's perfect. Oops, the queen is onion. And the king is potato. Okay, so we've cut potato, onion, corn, and strawberry. Interesting. Okay. Now we're into the spices. So this will be the wands. So we have vanilla for the ace. I wouldn't have thought of vanilla as a spice, but that does make sense. Clove for the 2. Sesame for the 3, so this is the 3 of wands. 4 is cacao. 5, cayenne. Cayenne is great for the 5 of wands. Star anise, 6. I'm kind of having a moment because it looks like the star anise has 7 points and it's the 6. I don't know why that's bugging me, but that bugs me a little. It's like you almost feel like you'd want to see it, but again, I haven't read the guidebook, so I don't know what the intention is here. Ginger for the 7 of wands or 7 of spices. Coffee for the 8. Give me the coffee. Coffee for the 8 of wands really makes sense when you think about it. If you think of fast moving energy, right? You got caffeine. Cinnamon for the 9. Juniper for the 10. The page of spices or wands, we have nutmeg. The saffron rather for the knight. It's a very flamboyant spice, so that kind of makes sense. Cardamom for the queen. Oh, I like that. I love cardamom. Black pepper for the king. Spicy. And now we're into the cacti, which are the swords. So we have paper spine cacti for the ace. Silver torch for the 2. Prickly pear for the 3. Peyote for the 4. Hopefully that's still in frame. Teddy bear? There's a teddy bear cactus? That's really fun. Teddy bear for the 5 of swords. Dragon fruit for the 6. This one looks upside down, but maybe it's a hanging cacti. I don't know how that works. Moon cacti for the 7 of swords, or 7 of cacti. Old man of the Andes cacti. It looks like it's got white hair all over it, so that's kind of fun. Living rock for the 9. Fire barrel for the 10. That does look fiery, but this is swords, so I don't know. Rose cactus for the page. Queen of the night for the knight. Old lady, is that what that says? Yeah, old lady for the queen. And elephant cactus for the king, which I think this is what I think a lot of us think of when we think of like a classical, like big cactus, right? So that's really cool. Okay, before I jump into the oracle, because it looks like I'm kind of cruising right along here, I'm going to take a look at the guidebook and just see if we can get a feel for how this is laid out. So I'm going to zoom us back out a bit here. Sorry for the camera shake. Okay, that should be good. So let's take a look at the contents. So we have an introduction, a little bit about the deck, so just a couple pages it looks like. Then we have majors, minors, oracle, spreads, and sources. So it is pretty thin, so I want to see what a couple of the plant pages look like. So you've got the overview that we looked at before. And so here there's a bit of an overview of each suit. Oh no, just an overview of the majors. Oh, these are really short. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to zoom us in over here to the page that talks about the Fool and the High Priestess, or the Magician rather. Okay, so for Cherry, it says cherry with the cherry tree with its sweet-smelling pink flowers blooms in the beginning of spring, marking that a time of renewal and growth. marking that a time of renewal and growth are now present. In Japan, the tree symbolizes new beginnings, revival, and innocence. So that makes beautiful, beautiful sense. Let's take a look at the Magician. So the Magician, it looks like we also have the botanical name, or the Latin name, or whatever, the official scientific name. I think it is called the botanical name underneath the title here. So this one says power, skill, and resources for the baobab tree. Also known as a bottle tree, the baobab can store hundreds of liters of water in its trunk in the middle of the arid African savanna. The entire tree is edible and can be tapped or the bark eaten for water. The baobab is used by people and animals alike as a source of water, food, shelter, and medicine. So it's one of those trees that literally has everything it needs right inside of it. So that, again, makes perfect sense. Let's pick a minor and just take a quick peek. So let's go into, let's go into a numbered minor. So let's look at the 7 of crops, which is carrot. Okay, so I'm in flowers. Let's get into crops and grab the 7. Okay, so we have carrot. The modern carrot is a descendant of the wild carrot that has been selectively bred to be larger and have a sweeter flavor. Dutch horticulturists spread carrots to be a bright orange so they could feed them to cows in order to have milk with a more yellow hue. And now we're looking at the 7 of Pentacles. So this is about, well, the keywords are assessment, evaluation, and readjustment. So the readjustment you could see with the whole being bred to be a bright orange so they could feed them to cows and change the color of the milk. So that's kind of speaks to that. I'm kind of ambivalent about that one as an example. Let's take a look at a court card. So let's take a look at the spices and take a look at a court card. Let's see, where's our spices? There we go. Okay, so let's take a look at the Knight of Spices, which is Saffron, and see what we think here. So here we're into spices. Let me grab the Knight. There we go, Saffron. Okay. So here it says, saffron comes from 3 stigmas in the center of a crocus. Each delicate stigma must be hand-picked and then dried. Due to the tiny amounts and the labor it requires to collect, saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. However, it's a very strong spice and it only takes a tiny amount of saffron to flavor a whole dish. Adventurous, passionate, excessive. A little over the top, right? So I totally understand where it's going with that. It's interesting, and actually I'm kind of pleased in a way that it's not trying to describe the Knight of Wands specifically. It's talking about the spice and tying it into the meaning and letting you do that part, like letting you tie it into the meaning. And then lastly, let's just take a look at one from the Cup suit, which is obviously my favorite suit in most tarot decks. And let's take a look at Poppy, which is the 4 of flowers. Let's see what we think. Okay, so here's our 4 of flowers, and here's our Poppy. Withdrawal, introspection, and apathy, which are decent keywords for the 4 of cups, I think. Before poppies bloom, they produce a latex that contains opium. Of course, a substance used since ancient times as a pain reliever and sedative. The flowers came to symbolize peace, sleep, and death. That's really, really interesting. So we could see that as a calm-inducing or like a shift in mental or an emotional attitude. Introspection for sure. Interesting. Oh, and it's giving me that feeling from Wizard of Oz with the field of poppies and the evil queen, the wicked witch, rather, saying sleep, sleep over the field of poppies. So it looks like these plants have all been thoughtfully chosen to match up with the meanings, and I think it'll be a really interesting deck to read for because it doesn't do necessarily the heavy lifting for you. That said, I will say that I think it's probably not going to be the best deck for a beginner to tarot. Sorry, my hand got in the way there, because it doesn't really describe the tarot. It's talking, there's keywords and there's a meaning, but the meaning does tie in my opinion. So I think I'm going to leave this here. We're going to jump into a part 2 in just a minute where I'm going to go through the Oracle deck as a flip through, and then we'll look at some of those as sample meanings and see what we think. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in part 2. Bye!